work for the Center for Mental Health Promotion. And then once I got in, I was assigned a research team group, and he was also in it. And I think we both found the ACT Guide program project, and we were both assigned to it, which started to create us as a research team.
Yeah, and I had done previous research experiences with the Improved Lab with Heather Kelly, and I did some research on misophonia, and so after doing that, they had recommended that I come take this new research opportunity, and so yeah, and then that's where we ended up here.
So when I got on this research team, there were multiple different projects I could have worked on, and ACT Guide program stood out to me because it was a very large audience that we would work with, and I thought it'd be very cool to see all of the public's concerns and what the public needs versus a target audience, which really geared me towards this program, and that's why I decided to do it.
Right, and kind of the same. I mean, I've known about ACT for a little while now, and I was just kind of interested in it from the beginning, and so I was just interested to see like how effective ACT could be, and I wanted to see specifically not only what the public's goals were, but also just to see just how effective ACT could be. Right, yeah, so we were just trying to generally reach out to the public to figure out what they needed help with as far as the ACT Guide goes. So essentially we had asked them a question on how they could use the ACT Guide to improve their daily lives, and then they just responded to that.
Yeah, so it was very inclusive in terms of like audience range. There were people in school taking it, but there was also people who were married or much older individuals, and it did center on what they wanted to learn or get out of this program is what we initially asked them through our research.
Yeah, and one of the things that I thought was really useful about it is that, yeah, there were plenty of people that were using this ACT Guide program, like even professionals from, like say if they were a therapist, they wanted to use this program or to learn it so that they could use it for the people that they're trying to help in their daily lives too. So this goes from students all the way up to professionals in an industry. So. I thought it was so interesting how through this research we found all of these different themes where all the people who participate in the program fit into, and then we had a theme of an unclear goal, which is participants who went into the program having no clue really what they want to get out of it, but it was significantly less than any of the other themes, which brought my attention to how a lot of the people engaging in the program knew what they wanted to get out of it. They just needed that resource to help them get through whatever they were trying to get closer to, and I thought that was really interesting because it showed a lot of the public have a clear goal for engaging in the program. Yeah, and I just thought it was interesting. I mean, I just love doing qualitative work because you get to see the fine raw data of what people have to say about their experiences rather than doing a Likert scale or just a multiple choice survey. So it's really interesting to me to see what people actually truly have to say about their experiences. Another thing that I noticed too is that the #1 coded theme that we had was improving specific skills. So it's just really interesting to see what the biggest problem is that people have and how ACT can help them with that problem.
And in those improving specific skills in any of the responses, people can write just 2 words, but it can range up to a big paragraph where they show this specific skill that they are engaging in this program for. And it's very interesting to hear people's stories and how all of them are unique, and it was very cool.
The ACT Guide is based off of acceptance and commitment therapy, and that's based off of 6 different principles. Essentially, it's just trying to reach psychological flexibility for the people who use ACT, and so we just based our ACT Guide off of that, and then we coded the
qualitative responses that we got into different codes and themes.
Yeah, and an essential part of ACT is psychological flexibility, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like trying to reach your best self through like being closer to your values and like being accepting of uncomfortable thoughts and working through that. Yeah. I personally really like ACT because it brings attention to the public just becoming a better version of themselves. It's not really gearing towards changing or anything like that. It's basically becoming closer to your authentic self and who you want to be, which is basically why the ACT Guide program is geared towards the public, because it can help a variety of different people, and it's very cost effective, the ACT Guide program that we researched on, which makes it so hopefully anyone who needs the help can find a way to get it. And this program is very versatile and can accommodate to a lot of different people's needs.
And I think what's great about ACT 2 in comparison to other therapies, not saying that other therapies aren't effective, it just depends on each person. But the one thing that I definitely love about ACT is that it's values-based. And I think that's awesome, because anytime that you need motivation or you need reason to do something, ACT is there to help you figure out what your values are and then how you can best attain those values. And so that way you don't have to live a life that you feel is meaningless, or you have to do things that you don't feel that you want to do. You choose what you do based off of what your values are. And that can be a very difficult thing to do for most people, right? Like, if one of your values is to be honest, it's not always easy to be honest, right? Like, that's difficult. You're probably gonna start a few fights doing that, but that's what I like about ACT, is that it's going to train you how to follow your values and then become a better person that way. So. Yeah, so there's a website on USU. You can just pretty much just Google ACT Guide and then you'll be able to find it. But yeah, you can access it from there, and there might also be new interventions coming up as well. And then it can even give you like just like a general overview of what ACT is and how it might be able to help. So.
Yeah, and once you get to the website, it'll give you the overview and tell you what it is. And it also tells you how accessible ACT Guide program is, and if you really want to know the specifics, it's only $25, and you can opt into it for 6 months, and you can take it on your own time. It's online, it's not in person, so it's very accessible to the public and to anyone who needs it. I think mental health has gotten better and worse, because if you look statistically, mental health, more people are struggling with it and coming out, but at the same time, more people are coming out about it because society is starting to accept it more. And with accepting it, there's more opportunities for programs like these, therapy, or resources. So I would say that mental health is at a high right now, but there's also a lot more opportunities and available resources for people in college and the general public to use to get help.
And I think it kind of depends on whether or not it's getting better or worse. I mean, in certain areas you can say that it is getting better, and then other areas, yeah, it is getting worse. I think that as we learn how to deal with mental health a little bit more effectively, that we'll start to learn to solve problems, and we'll become more resilient. But then also at the same time, I think that with how often society changes and there's so many things going on, that's going to cause a lot more stress and obviously a lot more mental health problems. So yeah, things are getting better, generally speaking, I think, but just in the moment, it's obviously very difficult to figure out how we're going to address certain specific mental health concerns. I would hope to see mental health in the future obviously improve. Specifically, I'd like to see people who have access to more resources and tools so that way they can manage mental health on their own. So I would like to see people who can help kind of just deal with their own problems on their own. I'm not trying to encourage people not to seek help if they need it, but obviously we do want to see more independence in that area.
Yeah, I think finding more resources of where we can find mental health access is very helpful, and the research we did is just a start to a lot more expansive research we can do onto finding ways to even help like rural areas and places that can't commute and be on places to commute and find a therapist. These are online, and making resources cost effective could really help those who are struggling with mental health in low income areas and help mental health become aware would be really good.